I've said it before and I'll say it again. We are in the end game right now. Avengers Endgame is out. You have seen it. I hope you have seen it. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? I don't know what you're doing with your life, but welcome. This is my Avengers Endgame spoiler review. I'm going to spoil this movie up, down, left, right, in, and out as if you've already seen it. So if you have not seen Avengers Endgame, I strongly suggest you turn the video off now, go see the film, come back, subscribe, and then, watch my non-spoiler review, and then you can watch this review. So you have been warned. Also, I want to let you know that I have changed my rating. I don't know if it went down or I don't know if it went up. Well, I do know, but you don't know, but you're going to know at the end of this video. So are you ready to get all spoilery? Here we go. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to my opinion / spoiler review. Yes, all right, had to get my backdrop right and all that good stuff. Yeah, first up there on the top right, you got that Incredible Hulk. Then you got Thor, the Amazing Spider-Man, Black Panther. Then you got your Captain America and Falcon, and then your Invincible Iron Man. Captain America again at the top, and then at the top left we got the X-Men, because Disney owns X-Men now, and they didn't pop up in Endgame, but they're going to pop up later on, and I can't wait. But thank you so much for tuning in to my opinion / spoilery review for Avengers Endgame. I really do appreciate it. Please go ahead and click that subscribe button. Give me that thumbs up. Let's see if we can get this video to 100 likes. And also click the little bell so you can get notified every time I do make an upload. And if you are a subscriber, please watch to the end of the video, because I have a question for you. So like I said in my intro, I'm going to spoil this thing left and right, in and out. I have changed my rating. I've seen the film twice now. At the first time I saw it, I've only seen it once, but I've seen it twice now. And I'll just go ahead and say it again, guys. I love this film. I enjoyed it a lot. It met my expectations, and in just a few moments it did not meet my expectations. And really, as I'm going down the spoilers for this film right here, I only have 2 complaints. And as I'm going through the film, I'm going to list them. One of them is in the middle of the movie, and one of them is towards the very end. And well, two complaints. Well, no, yeah, just we're gonna leave it at that. 2 complaints. Everything else that I absolutely love. And just starting off, I love how it's quiet and calm the movie started when we get to see Hawkeye on the farm or with his family, and he's teaching his daughter how to shoot a bow and arrow. And of course, Thanos snaps his fingers and they disappear. And what's crazy is he doesn't even get to see his family disappear. He just turns his head one way, turns it around, and his daughter's gone, and then turns his head back the other way, and he can't find the rest of his family. So of course, this happened around the world, around the universe, and people see it in different ways. Ant-Man, his experience was one of his own, and we're going to get to that. But I really do like the way it started out. And then we have Tony and Nebula up in space, he's being a human. They're trying to understand each other and, just get along and survive, and playing with the football and things like that. And I like the little subtle things to where, he's starving. It's possibly assumed that, she can live a lot long. Well, she's a robot or whatever. So she doesn't even need food and water, probably, is what I'm thinking. And, he has some type of food. I was going to say beef jerky, but that's not it. He tries to give her some, and she's like, no. And she hands it back to him and all that. And then I thought he died at the very beginning. I'm like, okay, he may die in this movie, and he did. We'll get to that, but he's not gonna die this early. And then all of a sudden, Captain Marvel comes out of nowhere and saves the day, and I like that. And I really like the way they use Captain Marvel in this movie, to be honest with you, and a number of characters that we're gonna get to. But of course, I'm just assuming that since if you saw, what was the last film? Yeah, Captain Marvel, that came out in March. One of the post-credit scenes, at the end of Infinity War, Nick Fury hit the pager to call Captain Marvel, which was set up in Captain Marvel. At the end of that movie, one of the mid or post-credit scenes was the post-credit scene was her just showing up, hey, where's Nick Fury? So when Tony is sending the message to Pepper, I'm assuming that she was at the facility, and when they was able to trace the signal and then find their coordinates in space, and she was able to save the day. And this is the first time that we really do get to see Captain America and Tony Stark come together, when he lands on the thing on the ship, and the first line of dialogue is like, man, I couldn't stop him. He just feels guilty, and he's discombobulated and delirious and all this good stuff. And that's the first time time that they seen each other since Captain America Civil War, and I liked it. I was liking that dialogue. And something I did not expect right after that is when he had a breakdown when Iron Man, Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. just got mad and was hitting the bowl and talking about the Avengers and suit around the world. And I love the way they made him look small. I mean, the guy is fed up, you know. I'm loving all this. The beginning of this movie is just fantastic. I'm eating it up. I mean, it's just great. I mean, it's perfect. It's like just a perfect 10 out of 10. You know, he rips off the arc reactor or the nanotech Stark suit or whatever, and you know, he passes out. And so, like I said, it's just a great start. And then, you know, Captain Marvel coming through here, you know, talking trash, and I'm not talking trash, but she's very sure of herself. You know, she is powerful. You know, we got that clip that was released online, and they want to go and just kill Thanos. And I like the way they just set that up in there. I mean, they're not going to make the same mistakes in the past. I mean, they came in like, no, we're going to grab him here, grab him there. You put him in the headlock, and Thor is going to chop off the hand. And I like that. You know what I'm saying? And we found out that Thanos used the stones to destroy the stones. I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? What are they going to do? And I was going to this film thinking about time travel, but I was not expecting Thor to get mad and chop his head off. He went for the head that time, and I'm just like, oh, everybody was like, oh, snap, oh, shit, like, oh, my goodness. You know, this is violent. Like, they're chopping off heads, beheading people and stuff like that. So I like that, too. I mean, up until this point, the film is just absolutely perfect for me. But then we get to 5 years later, and that's when I was like, hey, damn, you know what I'm saying? Everybody had these theories, trying to put stuff together online, watching these trailers with Black Widow and Captain Marvel with different hairstyles and hair colors and things like that. Hey, it's because it's 5 years later. We get I just kind of like the sequence of events. We get to see like Okoye. She's back in Wakanda, of course, because we found out the Shuri and Black Panther are gone, so she's running the country. Captain Marvel's off doing her stuff. I mean, she being Captain Marvel off in space. I like that no one is all hunky-dory at the Avengers facility. Tony Stark married over here with kids, you know, with baby Morgan and stuff like that. Captain America, he don't stay there no more. It's really just Rhodey and Black Widow. And Black Widow came through. She was crying and being all emotional and stuff like that. I mean, she really did come through in this film in more ways than one. And of course, we'll get there later. But I like how everybody was just kind of, you know, separated and spread out. Captain Marvel talking about, hey, Earth is not the only planet in the universe. There's thousands of planets. I'm trying to help everybody. You know what I'm saying? I like all that. I really do. And one of the things that really did stand out to me. So that was one of the co-directors, Joe Russo, who he stated that he was, you know, it was a gay character. He was talking about going on a date with a man, and Captain America was running the meeting and things like that. You know, the group, the council group or whatever. And I like how he said towards the end of that scene, like, you know, it's something, I forgot exactly what it said. I'm paraphrasing, but if we should have been dead or Thanos should have killed us all, because we have to make something of the life that we have left. That circled back around towards the end, because this dude done made all these sacrifices. He's like, man, F this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just live this out. When I go back and try to put the time stone or the stones back, I'm live this out and get the life I deserve. So I noticed that even more the second time coming around. And then next, you know, we found everybody was just like, man, at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp last year, you know, Paul Rudd is stuck in the quantum realm. This dude been in there for 5 freaking years. He comes out like, man, what? He don't know what's going on. I loved all that. He goes up to the memorial just trying to look for his daughter. He sees his name, like, what the hell is going on type stuff. Kind of like episode 1 of The Walking Dead when the show was good. I quit watching it when it just got repetitive. But I was feeling that. I was loving all that. He goes home. He runs home. He sees his daughter all grown up. She's like, what the hell? He's like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? I love you, but what the hell is going on? Like, damn, I missed 5 years. And then he just drives over to the Avengers facility. I'm feeling everything, guys. Everything, like I'm saying, everything to this point is like perfect. You know what I'm saying? I'm loving it. He talking about, give me a peanut butter sandwich. I'm hungry. And I laughed during that part. You know what I'm saying? He's been trapped. You know, he ain't ate nothing, or who knows what he was eating in the quantum realm and all that good stuff. But I'm feeling it. Like I said, I keep on saying, guys, at this point, everything is just like absolutely perfect for me. But I like the way that Tony and Captain America were kind of reacting to it. Like, okay, time travel, that seems a little kooky, but at the same time, like, Black Widow's like, I'm getting emails from a squirrel. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing is crazy anymore. Half the universe has been extinct. We got a cyborg named Vision. We got this. We got Thor, and like, I'm liking their reactions, but at the same time, it's kind of funny to real life or whatever. But then we get over to Mr. Tony Stark. I mean, the man that started this whole thing in 2008. Had such a powerful performance in this film, which we're going to be talking about and all that good stuff. And actually he was the only cast member cast member to read the entire film script. Even when he started in the MCU, it was in his contract that he can actually choose a director that he wants. So he has some pull and stuff like that. But yeah, Pepper, he's done. We ain't seen him since he got into it with Cap and him when he came back from 5 years ago. And he done had a baby with Pepper. That's great. I'm loving that. That makes perfect sense. And I didn't really notice or really pay attention to it the first time. But when he goes out to the tent, he's playing with Morgan and she comes out with the armor. She has the helmet that Gwyneth Paltrow, that Pepper Potts, the rescue armor, she has the helmet on, and it just was like a little throwaway object to me the first time I saw it, but at the end of the movie, I was like, oh, okay. But then it hit me the second time even more. I'm just like, oh wow, that's the rescue helmet armor from the comics, and that photo leaked during pre-release of this film. And I was like, okay, I didn't really pay attention to it. I thought it was going to be kind of stupid to have Pepper flying around in the Iron Man armor. I didn't know. I knew it was in the comics, but I never read the Rescue Iron Man comics because I really didn't like everybody jumping in the Iron Man suit in Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 is one of the worst films in the MCU to me, while Iron Man 1 is still one of the best. But anyway. But it ended up being very, very, very cool, very, very badass with Pepper saving the day. But Tony's like, look, man, I got a daughter. You're trying to save the universe based off Back to the Future. No, I'm good. We took a stand. We lost. I'm good. Leave me alone. And I really don't blame him. You know what I'm saying? Like because he's not really wrong. I mean, he had the vision. He may have tried to handle it the wrong way with Ultron. Yeah. But I mean, he had the vision and the vision came true. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really just tired of him that he did not want to do anything with the time travel. But the next scene after that was freaking hilarious with Professor Hulk. Now, about the Hulk character, I will go ahead and kind of list one of my disappointments that kind of ties in with the end of the film. With the second disappointment, I'm kind of giving you part A now. I love everything about Professor Hulk. I loved it. I thought it was freaking fantastic. I really did. The Professor Hulk is not anybody that I'm really, I mean, I know about him, but I've never seen any animated movies of Professor Hulk or read any comics of Professor Hulk or anything like that. I've only read like, Normal Hulk or Savage Hulk or watched cartoons, movies and things like that. But we knew it was coming. That was in the marketing material as well. But while it was great and I love the character, the only thing of the Professor Hulk character, the only thing about the character Hulk that disappointed me in this movie is he didn't fight at all. He got whooped in Avengers Infinity War. And then he was in the Hulkbuster suit as Bruce Banner. And then in this film right here, he did not fight at all. Not one bit. And that's just really disappointing to me because at the very end, he was in the cast because, he snapped his fingers that brought everybody back and it damaged him. And then as he was holding up the building and Ant-Man came and saved him, maybe he threw a punch or two at the end. It was so much going on. We're going to get to that. But going into this movie, I really wanted to see Hulk lose control. And to the points where he fights the Avengers. Now, believe it or not, guys, the Avengers really jumped on the radar to me in 2005 with the Ultimate Avengers animated movie. I remember I bought it at Walmart. I was like, oh, this looks cool. And I watched it. It was so badass. So the MCU that we're watching in screens today now live, well, not live. That's like the main universe, the 616 universe from the comics. This animated movie in 2005 was the ultimate versions or whatever. Its characters were slightly different, but Hulk was just so strong. He didn't have control. At the end of the movie, he beat up all the bad guys, but he lost control. He ended up attacking the Avengers. I just kind of wanted him to lose control and wreck shop, but he didn't do that. But other than that, I did love everything about the Professor Hulk. Everything with the failed time traveling was funny, with Paul Rudd making him baby and an old man, and I'm laughing because he's not knowing if he used the restroom on himself and things like that. But then we go back to Tony and Pepper, and I love how they shot the scene about with her being on the couch. He figures it out, and it's just a wide scene with her on the left, the left side of the screen, him on the right. And it's just like the shot just lets you know they're going to have a deep conversation and a big decision is going to be made. And they really didn't draw it out, but he was like, hey, I figured it out. I'm going to go help the team and all that good stuff. And he did. And he went back and he pulled up to the facility. I love the speech, not the speech, but the conversation that he was having with Chris Evans, Captain America, Steve Rogers. He gave him the shield back. He was like, look, I will bring everybody back to gather what we lost, but I'm keeping what I found. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way I will get involved. I got the power right here with the GPS time travel bracelet or whatever. So you got to listen to me. And that was cool. I like that. And he gave him back the shield, and Tony was reluctant, but what did Iron Man say? Something like, something is corruptive and I don't like it. What did he say? No, he didn't say repulsiveness. He didn't say reluctancy. He said resentment or something. I think it started with an R. I can't remember, but I love the line. But then he's like, we're trying to get the team right. Yeah. And so then this is when we get Ronan or whatever. And here's Hawkeye being the badass. Now, I wish we could have got more of Ronan being a badass because he was really badass, but we only got a little bit of badass, but I wanted more. I'm not dotting the film for that, but, I like that. That was great. And I laughed when, Ant-Man's tacos got blown away and then Hulk came over there and gave us a more cute line. I like that. Nebula, she's like socially awkward. Yes, there's an idiot in the landing zone. It's just she's not emoting the same way that all the other characters are because one, she's not really human to begin with, and two, she's from the other side of the galaxy. So I'm liking how the Russo brothers, Christopher Mark and Stephen McFeely, the writers, how they're just having all these characters bounce off each other. And up until this point right here is where it is perfect. And now this is where my main gripe of the film becomes. When we get to drunk Thor, fat Thor, initially I was okay with it. I was cool with it. It was a little over the top, but I was willing to accept it. But they kept going on with this joke, even kind of towards the end of the battle, the grand finale, which I'll get to, of course. It just became really, really annoying to me. When they came back to the Avengers facility and he was trying to explain the plan, where the ether was, when they figured out, okay, hey, they're just trying to figure out the stones and all that. I was so turned off. I hate that scene. It slowed the film down. Remember, it's not as bad as this, but Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Was it Canto Bite? When they go to Canto Bite, pretty much everybody just oh man, where's the remote? Fast forward to action lightsabers. Fast forward to Luke not fighting with a lightsaber. That shit. That's I like the second time I was just like, oh gosh, let's just get through the scene. It's not funny. So that's my first complaint, guys. I didn't mind it at first. It was different because they kept it going. Like, okay, so when you look at the whole MCU, all 22 films, Thor, his first two films struggled a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They didn't make as much money as they could. I'm not saying they lost money, but they struggled a little bit. They weren't one of the more successful films. You know what I'm saying? Good though. But then you brought us Thor Ragnarok, and I love that film. You know what I'm saying? Thor Ragnarok is in my top 10 in the MCU. Okay, and I may be making a video about that some other time. I'll go ahead and tell you I'm gonna rank all my films after Spider-Man Far From Home comes out in July. But Thor Ragnarok came out, you introduced a new Thor, he was just a badass, right? And then Avengers Infinity War, he just comes back again, a mega badass, getting Stormbreaker. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh snap. So I'm just thinking he gonna be a super mega badass in Avengers Endgame because he mad now. But then we get this drunk, sorry puppet that's fat. I'm like, come on, how you just gonna dilute the character like that? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I did not like that. I was turned off by it. I hated it. I did not like it. But then what we got next? We got the test run with Hawkeye going back, and he was able to bring the glove back. So he was, even though he really wasn't meaning to, he brought the glove back, just kind of just showing tangibility, how you can bring something back. I brought back the gloves. We can bring back the Infinity Stones. Now that I'm kind of saying that, I feel silly comparing a glove to an Infinity Stone. A glove to an Infinity Stone. I don't think a glove may break the fabric of reality and existence, but that's okay. I talked about that, but they come up with a plan, right? And I like it. And we get to Avengers 2012, and they're doing all that thing there. I loved everything about it. I love Captain America versus Captain America. I love the way he used the scepter to calm him down and used the dialogue. Bucky's still alive. It was brilliant. I love the way they use Ant-Man and, just giving us more of what we've seen before. One of the films that started this off with, it was like the sixth film at the time in the MCU. I love the Cap said, "Hell Hydra." You know what I'm saying? That's just a great way to trick them. It ties back to the Winter Soldier that came out in 2014, and also that was also based off a comic where Captain America or Hydra created a clone or whatever. And so I'm just feeling all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole scene was just super duper dope. Did I leave anything else out in Avengers 2012? But then we go to Thor: Dark World, right? And well, no, go back to Avengers 2012. My fault. So they get this. Well, no. We're going to Thor: The Dark World. Even though we got drunk Thor back, when Rocket slapped him, I thought he was going to snap back into it right there, but he still was kind of dribbling around. But I like the fact that, in Avengers Infinite, how everything circled back around for Thor, and we're closing his story out because he is the one that lost the most. I mean, he lost his brother twice because in the Thor: The Dark World, he thought he lost him, but then we found out in Ragnarok that he's back, and he died again in Infinity War. Odin is dead because of Loki. His mother is dead because of Loki. You know what I'm saying? So, and then Thor failed by not going for the head, or I don't even want to say going for the head. That was a hard throw. That he could have stopped Thanos. So, but half the universe was gone. So, I'm feeling that. Like, I'm feeling how much Thor has lost, you know what I'm saying? And for him to be able to reunite with his mother again, that was just really fulfilling for me as far as his character development is concerned. And I like that she was like, "Well, you're not my son, you're from the future," because she knows magic, and she said she was raised by witches. She's the one that trained Loki on his magic, so she knows some true magic stuff or whatever. Not like in Thor when it was like, what you consider magic, it's just a science you don't understand. No, she really knows magic, and he's trying to tell her like, "You're about to die." And she's like, "No, you're here to save your future. I'm good. I'm old. I retired already. Old and ain't hitting it right no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to go. Peace." I'm joking. But I do like that he was able to say bye to his mom. That was very fulfilling. Like I said, it kind of gives an ending arc to his story and things like that. But still, I didn't like Fat Thor, but I was feeling that. Now we go to Morag, Vormir, and Thanos' past. Now, while all of this is significant, the best part of it was when they went to Vormir. I really didn't. I mean, the Morag stuff, the second time I saw it, I was kind of like, okay, let's just get through this. I did not dislike it. It's just, I was just like, okay. I mean, it was funny because when Rhodey was in the thing, when they have a place called the Temple of the Power Stone, a booby trap is going to pop out and things like that. And that was funny. And I like the way they came up with the writing to have Nebula, two consciousness sharing that existence, or two minds sharing the consciousness or whatever, and the neural link and all that. That was cool. But at the same time, I was just like, let's just get through this. The second time I was watching it or whatever, I think at that point I was just ready for them to fight, because I knew, I was like, okay, I knew that the Soul Stone was last, and as soon as they come back, they snap and it comes down. But we getting there, guys. We getting there. But then I love the back and forth between Black Widow and Hawkeye. How they was fighting, that whole scene was beautiful. When the Red Skull says something, she pulls out his gun, he pulls out his sword. Badass. I'm liking all that. But now it also circles back around. And so it was just some nice conclusions, like they, Hawkeye and Black Widow, You know, they're like this, right? And as they're going off in space to Vormir by them damn selves, they're just like, man, like, can you believe what our lives have become? Like, we're far away from Budapest, and they're just like, man, like, F it, if we die, we die. We're trying the best we can. We in space, and we from Earth, you know what I'm saying? I liked all that, but then for them to try, like, to love each other like that and to go out like that, man, like, Black Widow really came through. What in the world we gonna do with her? I mean, I guess she's like, so her and our Gamora are still in the Soul Stone. Because, you know, baby Gamora was in the Soul Stone. I don't know how that works, but we're gonna have to see. But next we have Tony Stark and Captain America going back to 1970s, and I love the way that he was able to say bye to his father as well. I'm so glad that they didn't like, hey, he got the cube, chase him down. You know, I'm so glad they didn't take it that route. You know what I'm saying? That just would have been annoying. It was just clearly, you know, plot-driven character development. You know what I'm saying? Circling back around, you know. And we found out that, you know, he resented his father. He loved his father, but he was just like, you was never there for me, Dad. You know, but, you know, Iron Man 2, when he said, Tony, you are my greatest creation. And then he heard it right there in the blood and flesh and blood in 1970. You know, that was really fulfilling too. So Thor and Iron Man right now are just, you know, just getting a full story, a full conclusion to their arc. And it's beautiful, you know, how this is centered around the original Avengers. You know, he got that reassurance, you know, the kid ain't even born yet, but I would do everything for him. I loved it all. Also, Jarvis, the real life person, that was the Jarvis from Agent Carter. The show was canceled. It was pretty good. It was better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But that is the first time that the show has influenced the movies, to my understanding. Or whatever. But I like that Nat dies, which sucks. Black Widow, I already talked about that. We on page 2. So Hawkeye gets the thing. I like it was kind of I like that Thor came through talking about, hey, I want to snap the fingers, you know, but his character was still kind of annoying to me. But, you know, Hulk puts it on, he snaps his fingers, he brings everybody back, he's struggling, he's hurt. And Thanos has the ultimate plan to, you know, so he used the Pym particle, because at first I was kind of confused. I'm like, what the hell? He used the Pym particles or whatever to shrink his armada and come through the time machine. And then as soon as he came through, because at the first time I saw it, when they was doing the ending battle, which we'll get to, of course, and it was like, we can't send them back. They destroyed the time heist machine. I was like, when did they do that or whatever? And I was like, well, he did blow up the whole building, so it was destroyed that way. It was actually destroyed when his ship came through and it grew and flew out the roof. So I kind of noticed that the second time or whatever. But, you know, he brought everybody back. I love the fact that Hawkeye's phone was going off and his wife was calling. I was just like, oh my God, it worked. And then Ant-Man was like, oh my God, I think it worked. Then boom, 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 boom. It was bombed and everybody is hurt. And Thanos just come down ready to do his dang thing. And I'm just like so ready for it. So everybody's coming to and things like that. Hawkeye, he's getting the Infinity Gauntlet with the Outriders chasing him. I like the fight scene with him with his arrows and shooting bombs and going up with his sword. Oh, that's badass. Ronan Hawkeye in this film, Clint Barton is a badass in this movie, and I liked it. But then, guys, we get into the icing on the cake where I lost my crap in the movie theater along with everybody else. When we had this 3-on-3 battle and Thor was like, yeah, you know, it's a trap. Iron Man like, I don't care. Thor was like, I don't care. He's like, power up. You know what I'm saying? This dude gets Mjolnir and Stormbreaker. And I'm like, God damn, it is about to go down. Like, Thanos is about to get his ass kicked. You know, like, I'm just like, what is going on here? Like, I mean, like, because when he got Mjolnir the first time around, I'm like, where's the hammer at? Like, where's Stormbreaker? Why is he not using Stormbreaker? It just really wasn't making sense to me. But it was just so badass when he came through in the end. Or whatever, and they just teamed up on him. Now that weapon that Thanos got or whatever, that was a badass weapon too. I need to look that up and see exactly what kind of weapon it is and what type of powers, because it was like a boomerang. He just threw it and came back. It was break a cap shield and things like that. But man, like what was crazy was, so Thor threw up Mjolnir and then used Stormbreaker as a bat to try to hit Mjolnir, but Thanos was quick enough and was able to pick up Iron Man, and Iron Man had to take the blow. I like that the heroes don't always win or whatever when they trying to do all this. It was clean though. I liked it. But then Thor threw Stormbreaker and it came back. What I don't understand here, how in the world was Thanos able to grab Mjolnir like that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know it was coming back and it probably was weighing him down anyway while Thanos was winning that battle with Thor trying to push the axe off. But man, so Mjolnir, it starts to shake. And I'm thinking it's going to go to Thor's other hand. But when it pops into Captain America's hand and he has this broken shield, and then he just catches it like this and cocks it back, everybody like 3 people in my theater was like, ah! And I did that too, but I was in my seat like, yes! Like I was so happy, but I can't believe this. And that goes back to Captain America has wielded Mjolnir a number of times in the comics or whatever, because he is worthy. And that ties back to Age of Ultron that came out in 2015, where they're at the party at the beginning of the movie and Captain America barely lifts or makes Mjolnir budge. And Thor looks kind of concerned. And when he was like, I knew it, because it just makes sense. I mean, if the rules are that you're pure of heart and good and all that, who is better than Captain America at that? So Captain America, the only thing, I don't really care. I'm not going to knock the film for this, but it's like Captain America was able to use the hammer better than Thor was. Now, and Thor did seem a bit weaker in this. Now, I'm going to give it to where Thor is just out of shape because he's fat now and he's been sitting on his ass drinking a beer for 5 years because he was stronger in Infinity War with 1 hammer and weaker in this one with 2 hammers. So, I don't know. The only reason he got the jump on Thanos in Infinity War is because he literally caught Thanos off guard, hit him with a big ass lightning bolt, blindsided him, and then, had the upper ground and all that. But still though, when Captain America came and he just did the uppercut, boom, like that, and then he was just throwing the shield and throwing the hammer and then hitting the hammer with the shield and hitting the shield with the hammer, just clink, 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 clink. He hit Thanos with like a 16-piece back-to-back blah, 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 with the hammer and the shield. I'm just like, I don't care. Like his shield was cracked and he was still like whooping ass. Like I cannot wait to get this on Blu-ray 4K to watch it at home. Just these scenes right here alone. I mean, it was badass, but Thanos ain't no bitch. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, that just came out. But now he just just blocking everything like, I'm Thanos. You know what I'm saying? And whoops Cap. And the thing about it is, after Cap gets whooped and Thor gets donkey kicked and punched in the face, Iron Man over there bleeding in his arm and stuff like that. You're like, Thanos is just like, man. I whooped y'all ass in the future. I'm whooping y'all ass in the past and in the present. I'm Thanos, you know what I'm saying? I am inevitable. And the thing about Cap that makes me love his character so much, you know what I'm saying? I need to get a Black Panther t-shirt. But he stood up, right? And Thanos' army showed up. Cap still stood up like, I don't give a F. I'm never giving up. I'm Captain America. And with the broken shield by his damn self, he still tights the shield and like, look, I can do this all day. He don't say it, but you can see it in his body language and his mannerism and his facial expression. He was ready to face Thanos' whole army. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like some Jon Snow in a couple of seasons ago in Game of Thrones at the Battle of the Bastards or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Battle of the Avengers, Battle of the Bastards and the Avengers. That's what I was thinking of. And then they just gave you they show a semi-wide shot of Thanos, and then his whole army. Then they backed the camera up and gave you a super wide shot. All the way over here on the left side of the screen is little Captain America. On the right side of the screen is Thanos' entire army, his entire legion, his entire armada. And then that's just that contrast where I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? It is about to go down. But then we hear it, Cap. We hear Falcon, Cap. Falcon right here, Cap, on your left. That calls back to the Infinity War at the very beginning of the movie, on your left, when Captain America was kept lapping Falcon, on your left. Now Falcon's like, on your left. And then the portal opens up, and then we get Okoye, Black Panther, and Shuri coming through like some bosses, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the way they was walking up, cuz it's like, yeah, we finna kick some ass. Oh man, and I'm just like, that was just like a clean ass scene right there. Then Falcon coming through, I'm up here hitting the lights and stuff. I'm so excited, coming through, flying, looking like a G. I'm just like, yeah. And then all the portals just start opening up, and then we get a shot of Thanos and his army. And then portals open up everywhere, and the whole goddamn MCU just. I'm in there staying like, making all the noise. It's like, I ain't smiled this big in a minute. It's like, this is the perfect setup, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just loving it. Like, it is just so damn live, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like, ain't this like the livest of the livest of the live, you know what I'm saying? Like real talk, like, just think the whole damn MCU came through. All of Wakanda, all the Asgardians, all the magicians, and then everybody else with powers and abilities, like, man, like, and then like Doctor Strange and them came through after Black Panther and them, and then with Mantis, Drax the Destroyer, he posing just with his little daggers, you know what I'm saying? Spider-Man coming through swinging, people cheering, and like, man, that and then they just run together like this was Captain, like, oh man, it was badass. And then we get to see Pepper in her armor, and I'm just like, yes, you're like as soon as she landed, I was like, badass. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, they're gonna have an Iron Man Morgan. Like, it just looked so cool. Like, and then like when everybody came together, we got that one brief shot of Iron Man and Pepper Potts in her rescue armor back to back, just beaming the hell out of it. Bing, 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 bing. It was crazy. It was crazy. So I can geek out more and more and more about that. I mean, I like Spider-Man, how he was like insta-kill. That goes back to Spider-Man Homecoming, and his stuff is just stabbing all the people. I like that Black Panther had the gauntlet for a second, and he was able to jump, drop kick somebody and flip around. All that stuff is badass too. Hold on, guys. Okay, yeah, we here. Okay, yeah, I was making sure I covered everything. The whole goddamn end battle was just epic. I loved it. It was beautiful. I mean, just mwah. The only thing I will say, and this is complaint number 2. So the first one was Thor, the Fat Man Thor. Hulk not losing control or really fighting. I mean, they gave a good story point for it. So I'll accept it. It's just kind of like a disappointing thing. But the other thing is, only thing I didn't like about the ending battle is, believe it or not, I still wanted more. Now, I may sound very selfish and greedy when I'm saying, like, Brandon, how can you get out there and still want more? It's like, I still wanted more on an individual level, because it was really just a bunch of people on screen clashing, which I loved it. It was a 10 out of 10, but we got that in Civil War, but at the same time, we got a ton of individual one-on-one battles as well. And we got more one-on-one battles in Avengers Infinity War as well. Now, we did get the 3-on-1 battle with Thanos. I mean, it was there, but it's like, I don't know. I mean, while I really did enjoy it, I still just wanted to see maybe 20 more minutes, 10, 15 more minutes of action of, them taking their time, having everybody clash, but giving, like, I don't know, another 60 seconds or a minute and 30 seconds of one-on-one action between different characters and things like that. I know that sounds greedy, but I mean, that's just kind of how I felt. But I still did love the film. But they saved the day. Captain Marvel comes through like a boss. She comes, Scarlet Witch in there, she's doing her thing too. She was whooping Thanos. She was, she came down just like, eyes fiery red. You took everything. Thanos like, I don't even know who you are. Get out of my face. I'm trying to get the stones. You will know. She was whooping his ass, and he had to, call rain down or something like that. And Saya, what about our troops? And he was like, just do it, because he's finna get his ass whooped. She was ripping his ass apart. So Scarlet Witch is just strong as hell. So I can't wait to see what we're going to see with WandaVision, that in Disney Plus later on this year. I will be subscribing to that or whatever. What else? Oh yeah, but Captain Marvel came through. I like how they was fighting. Thor was coming through with his axe as well, but he seemed just a little bit weaker to me in this film. He was still badass. He was a weak badass. But Iron Man does what he has to do. He's talking to Doctor Strange, talking about, man, hold up. You said 1 out of 14,605,000. Is this? Hey, bro, I can't tell you. Now, Doctor Strange is a powerful character, so they have to give reasons why powerful characters can't be in the end fight. Captain America, Marvel, they gave her, okay, she's too strong, so we have to give her a reason to be across space, and they gave her a reason. Doctor Strange is too strong, so let's make a big waterfall dam come down, and he has to block that, so he can't really fight Thanos either. Thor's strong too, so let's make him a depressed drunk. So they tried to find story elements to depower people, so that they're, because because Doctor Strange was kind of whooping up on Thanos one-on-one in Infinity War while he had 4 stones. You know what I'm saying? So now that Thanos has no stones, Doctor Strange could have, really, put some hands on him, put some magical hands on him. You know what I'm saying? But Tony does what he has to do, man. He dies. And the thing about it was, when he snapped his fingers, I knew that he saved the day, but it really didn't hit me that I was like, oh, he's not going to be able to survive. He's about to die. And so he sat down and I saw half of his body was black. I'm like, oh, damn. Oh, damn, is he about to die? He can't die. This is Iron Man. Oh, damn, he's dead. He ain't really dead. Like, they're going to show a dead body with some armor, and then the arc reactor going to cut back on. But no, it cut off. I'm like, oh, snap. And then we get the funeral and stuff like that. And I didn't cry in the film. A lot of other people did. But, he died. He recorded the message, before they went on the mission. I liked all that as well. But he died, man. Avengers Endgame was his last film under his contract. Are we going to see Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man again? Yes. I do feel that we're going to get an Iron Man 4 directed by Jon Favreau. But the great thing about it is we don't know how that's going to happen. We just don't. Now, we still have the Infinity Stones. No, they took them back. So, no, we don't have it no more. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know. That's just crazy to me. And I'm just thinking about, and another thing, I don't want to hear nobody else saying that the MCU don't have no damn stakes. In every Avengers film, a major character has died. Agent Coulson died in the first one. And no, I don't consider the Shield connected to the MCU. I did at first, but not anymore. Agent Coulson is dead. Avengers Age of Ultron, Quicksilver is dead. I thought he was going to come back, but he didn't. Quicksilver is dead. In Avengers Infinity War, Gamora died, and Vision died, and half the universe. And Avengers Endgame, yes, half the universe did come back, but Black Widow died, and Iron Man, and Captain America's an old man too. So what are you talking about? No stakes? No stakes, my ass. We got stakes. Iron Man is dead. He says, I am Iron Man. Snaps his fingers. You know what I'm saying? Calling it back to the end of Iron Man 1, end of Endgame. It's perfect circle back around. Perfect art. Got to say bye to his daddy and all that good stuff. Man, this thing was off the damn chain. You know what I'm saying? Left a message. And another thing now, I forgot to mention Loki. He possibly created another timeline because he teleported out with the Tesseract back when they went to Avengers 2012. So they messing stuff up there. So I'm gonna have to come back for another video round 2 for that. But last but not least, guys, we got Captain America, man. He ended up with Peggy Carter. Now, when he went back to the 1970s, we saw Margaret Carter. That was kind of the intro to his circling back around because, of course, he was with Peggy. They was going to set a date. He woke up 70 years later. What the hell? Damn, I'm 70 years late for a date. That sucks. But then he hooked up with Sharon Carter in Civil War. That's Peggy Carter's granddaughter. So I'm assuming in the 1970s that Margaret Carter is Peggy's daughter, which is the mother of Sharon Carter. So Margaret Carter could be Captain America's daughter or whatever from Peggy. They had sex, had a baby, had Margaret. I don't know. Let me know down in the comment section if you know. And he looked on the desk and there was a picture. So she's like, oh, here's my father. The birth of Captain America was in this place. And he was like, man, I want this life right here, man. Screw this. I'm not even supposed to be here. And that's what he did. So he did not come back when he snapped him back. He came back the long way. So when he just stayed there and lived his life. So I'm assuming that he just walked back over to the lake and sat down while they had their backs turned or whatever. Because if the first time it really didn't make sense to me, I'm like, okay, if he came back old, how did he come back old and why didn't he land on the platform? Well, he didn't land on the platform because he never came back. He returned all the stones or he did what he was supposed to do. I don't know. He just didn't come back. He stayed back in the past and just lived it out the long way. And I don't know, somehow he still remembered, they sent me back, so he walked over there. So he kind of had 2 consciousness worlds going on right there in a way. And he passed the mantle down to to Falcon. That's going to be Captain America. Now in Disney Plus, they did say that they're going to have a Falcon and Sebastian Stan, a Falcon and Winter Soldier show. So I guess the Falcon is going to be wielding the shield, doing that or whatever, and that's dope. I even wanted that to happen. I wanted Falcon to get the shield eventually, but not this soon in the MCU. But I'm fine with it, guys. And then the last scene of the movie, we go back and then, Peggy and Captain America are, hugging it out, dancing. Also during the funeral, that one guy, at the end, that little boy, I forgot the name, but he was at the end. He was the little boy in, Iron Man 3, that was helping, Iron Man. Everybody was there at the funeral. I kind of thought that Samuel L. Jackson and Captain America should have been standing together. But whatever. But going back to the last scene, Captain America got his woman, and I couldn't be happier. So I love the film, guys. Thank you for staying tuned for my thoughts. In my non-spoiler review, I gave the film a 9 out of 10, but I'm going to raise that to a 9.5 out of 10. Yes, a 9.5 out of 10 for Avengers Endgame. Thank you for watching this long. My questions for you guys is, if you're a subscriber, please comment down below what you think. Do you think alternate timelines were created, especially with Loki? Do you think that we're going to get Gamora and Black Widow back? What did Bruce actually snap for when he brought everybody back? Because he could have did it 3 different ways. The way he did do it was bring everybody that disappeared from the snap 5 years ago. And so he could have just reversed that. Now he could have said, bring everybody back that died at the hand of Thanos. Not only would that have brought back everybody from the snap, but that could have brought back everybody that Thanos has killed since he was born. And that may or may not be a good thing. So you may not want to do it that way. But what if Hulk thought, bring back everybody that died on the hands of Thanos in the past 5.5 years? Because if he would have done that, he could have brought back Loki. He could have brought back, I was going to say Idris Elba's character, who died on the ship. He could have brought back half the Asgardians that died on the ship as well. And everybody in the snap, not brought back people from 100 or 1,000 years ago. So he could have did that. He could have been like, I want to bring back Black Widow and everybody that died in the past 5.5 years at the hands of Thanos. Snap. He could have did that, and we don't know. And alternate timelines could have been created. Also, something I did not mention, I love the conversation that Doctor Strange had with the Sorcerer Supreme. With what is her name? I'm finna say Tilda Swinton. That's not her name. I might feel silly if that is her name. I do like that whole conversation. I did like. Oh yeah, it is Tilda Swinton, the ancient one. She was up here killing the Shatari or whatever, doing her magical powers. But guys, I love the film. Come back, subscribe. I am going to be making other videos within the next coming days that has to do with Avengers Endgame, and I don't want to tell you now. I just want to surprise you. But guys, that is just my opinion. What did you think about Avengers Endgame? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did I turn you on? Did I turn you off? Do you agree with me or do you disagree with me? Let me know down in the comment section below. Let's get this conversation going and keep it flowing. If you like this video, go ahead and give me the thumbs up. If you don't, that's fine. But you can still subscribe to my channel. You can also look me up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all that good stuff. It's right there at the bottom of the screen, and I made it very easy by providing a link to all that down in the description box below. And guys, please help me get to 10,000 subscribers. It will really help me out. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. But guys, I just want to thank you again for tuning in to my opinion/review/spoilery reaction to Avengers Endgame. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.